right, welcome back to the Minmatar Deep Dive. Last time...
Things got a little intense.
Yeah, understatement of the year. But we learned a lot.
About their history, their politics.
Those tribes, man. Complicated stuff.
Complicated's putting it mildly, but they survived.
They did, against all odds.
Which brings us to today's focus. Culture.
Right, because it's not just about surviving. It's about
what you do afterwards.
How do you heal after centuries of, well...
what they went through.
That's what I want to get into. How does a culture even begin to heal after that kind of trauma?
You see, that's the thing about the Minmatar. They don't
just forget it.
No.
Right.
They weave it into something powerful. It's like taking broken chains.
Oh, wow.
And forging them into a weapon.
Okay, yeah, that's a powerful image. But how does that actually, manifest in their daily lives? What does it look like?
Let's talk about those tattoos.
Everyone knows Minmatar and their tattoos.
Right, but it's more than just skin deep,
It's not just fashion.
No. It's their history, their pain.
The triumphs.
Literally written on their bodies. Each mark tells a story.
So you're not just seeing a person.
You're seeing generations of resilience.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
But if everything's on display like that,
yeah,
doesn't that create pressure to conform? Like, what if you're a Minmatar who just wants a quiet life?
That's where the individuality comes in. Remember, these are people who value action.
Oh, right. We talked about that.
So yeah, there's tradition, there's history, but there's also this drive to make your own story.
Add your own mark to the tapestry. Huh?
Exactly. And that can mean fighting for the Republic, sure.
But it could also mean
being the best damn shipbuilder, artist, whatever drives you.
So it's not just about being a warrior, it's about excelling at what you choose.
It's about choice, taking control.
I like that. But they were shaped by war, right? So what does that look like in their art, their music?
Their art, it's raw, powerful,
Like, give me an example.
Imagine music that's got this deep sorrow.
From their past.
Yeah. But also this defiant joy.
Like, we're still here.
Like they're daring the universe to break them again. And when it comes to,
a good life. What do they consider a good life?
It's about community. Yeah, they almost went extinct,
So family, tribe, that's...
everything. It's about belonging, contributing.
Being part of something bigger.
Exactly. Something you helped build.
Makes sense. After being someone else's property.
Right.
Building your own society.
That's got to feel amazing.
Powerful stuff. But hold on, we talked about that tension, right?
Between...
democracy and tradition. How does that actually play out day to day?
Okay, so you've got the official republic.
Laws, all that.
Yeah, influenced by the Gallente. But then you've got the tribe, your family, your support system.
And they have their own way of doing things.
Their own traditions, their own rules.
So you could have a situation where the republic says one thing and your tribal elder says something completely different.
It happens. Creates friction for sure.
Sounds like a headache.
It can be. But for the Minmatar,
it's about
navigating those two worlds. You respect the Republic.
Because it's theirs. Hard won.
Exactly. But you also can't ignore the traditions that kept your people alive.
Under the Amarr?
Under the Amarr. It's a balancing act.
But if they're so tribal, how do they even function as, like, a single nation?
They're not naive. They know there's rivalry.
Between the tribes.
Always has been. But they're also pragmatic.
Okay.
They understand that to survive in this galaxy,
For the Amarr, the Caldari, everyone else.
they need to work together. Plus, that shared history, that oppression, it's a bond. Mess with one tribe.
You mess with them all.
You mess with them all. It's a powerful motivator.
Okay, I can see that. But what about those Nefantar defectors?
Yeah.
And the Starkmenier? Did they just, slot right back in?
Oh, absolutely not. Things got even more complicated.
Oh, so?
Remember, the Starkmenier were thought extinct.
Yeah.
So their culture developed differently.
Makes sense.
Plus, some of them still held on to...
Amarr religion.
Amarr religion, yeah. And then you've got the Nefantar.
Trying to prove themselves.
After being seen as collaborators, everyone's walking in with baggage.
So how do they even begin to deal with that?
It was messy. There were arguments.
I bet.
But the Minmatar, they're adaptable. They figured, we can't erase the past.
No.
So how do we make it a strength?
Okay, so what'd they do?
They started incorporating those different viewpoints,
And you mean?
those new traditions, into the Republic itself.
Wait, so instead of rejecting them, they made the culture even more diverse?
It was a gamble, for sure.
That's bold.
But that's the Minmatar. They're always pushing boundaries. It's like they're saying, we survived the Amarr, we can survive anything.
I love that.
Oh.
But we can't just ignore the Amarr influence, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to religion, spirituality. How do they view that after being forced into the Amarr faith for so long?
It's a tough one. Before the Amarr, they had their own beliefs.
Like what?
They focused on these first elders.
First elders?
Spirits, basically, representing different aspects of life.
Okay.
And each tribe had their patron spirit.
So it reinforced that whole tribal identity thing?
Exactly. 7 tribes, 7 spirits.
Nice and tidy.
But then the Amarr came along, tried to stamp it out.
Did they succeed?
Not completely. Some Minmatar converted, their descendants.
Still follow the Amarr faith.
It's a source of tension, obviously, but it also shows how they're trying to move forward.
Like,
you tried to break us, but now we choose how we believe.
that's powerful. But hold on. If their own spirituality was so tied to the tribes,
Yeah.
wouldn't that make the Starkmanir, the Nefintar, kind of outsiders, religiously speaking?
Exactly. Integrating them wasn't just political, it was spiritual, too.
So they had to figure out.
What does it mean to be Minmatar? Is it blood? Is it belief?
Or is it?
The choice to stand together, despite your differences.
Now that is a deep question.
Yeah.
But it also sounds kind of hopeful, you know?
It is. They're not content with just surviving.
No.
They're constantly evolving, adapting, even their beliefs.
That's this chaotic energy.
But it's also what makes them so resilient.
I can see why they were so good at that guerrilla warfare stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Adaptability is key in war.
And in culture, it seems.
They're masters of taking what they have, whether it's scrap metal or a new philosophy, and turning it into a strength.
That's a good segue, actually, Kaz. We've talked about their history, their beliefs. But how do they actually function in the galaxy?
Economically.
Economically. From slaves to shipbuilders, let's dive into how they make those credits in Part 3.